added a few late additions. So we actually have 7 different projects represented on the stage, including myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself a little bit, and I'm going to actually, before we start, we want to get to know our audience a little bit. So I'm going to ask you 4 questions. And I think since I recognize half of you, I know the answers. So my name is Arwen Moss Despain. I am a country fair coordinator, but I also do I have a nonprofit called Carry It Forward in Eugene, Oregon, and basically my nonprofit is collecting donations from the community and giving them directly to folks on the street. We kind of specialize in emergency response, so folks who have lost everything because of a campfire, or everything got stolen last night, or things were confiscated and stolen by police or railroad staff or park staff. Folks who have lost everything, we try to do just a basic replacement of basic survival so they can survive another night until we can get them to something else. We also have a grant-funded project this year. So I've hired a couple unhoused folks to provide laundry services to 4 sanctioned camps in our area, also represented up here. And that's going really well. It's a little bit of a job training program, as well as providing a service that's much needed to camps that don't have laundry service. So what I want to do is actually ask you all a few questions, and then I'm going to have the mic pass down the row here and have everybody kind of talk very briefly about what they do, and then I want to have a conversation with you. I mean, we really want this to be participatory, so I want you to think as we go about your questions and how you'd like to engage with us, because this is an opportunity to pick some brains of people that are doing stuff. So my first question to you all is, could you please raise your hand if you have been personally impacted by homelessness, either because you have personally experienced it, or because you have a family member or close friend who has experienced it? And we can include folks on the stage here. Thank you. And how many people in the audience are doing some kind of service work specifically with unhoused folks? Okay. How many of you just are here because you're curious about the topic and you just kind of don't know where to plug in and would like to? Nice. Thank you. And how many of all of us put together as a community actually feel like this really complex issue of homelessness is something that we can do anything about? Excellent. Thank you. All right, so what I'd like to do is have each of us do a brief intro, like I said, and then please prep your questions, because we want to talk. All right.
Hello. My name is Katie. I am a part of an organization called the Neighborhood Anarchist Collective. We throw this amazing resource event called Share Fair. This happened with a few friends coming together with similar ideas and powerful beliefs in each other and mutual aid, and wanting to make a change in our community. So we decided to collect resources around town, talk to organizations that could provide services to the unhoused or communities in need, and each other. And we've been throwing this event. This is our 6-month anniversary, the last Tuesday of this month, and it's been going really great. We've had Planned Parenthood come out and get people signed up for health care, blankets, clothing, socks, food, Burrito Brigade, Food Not Bombs comes and cooks for people, and we just create this environment where we care about one another and we're doing a mutual exchange and sharing.
Hello, my name's Nathan. I help and co-manage with Tracy here, Nightingale Hosted Shelters. It's a rest stop in Eugene. Right now we're on 34th and Hilliard, and we help people get off the streets and give them a place to stay so they can connect with organizations that can help them get housed and a place to stay and be safe so they can get jobs and get back into housing. And been doing it for about 4 years now, and we've helped house about 124 people so far from being chronically homeless on the streets to being into housing. That's the whole thing about rest stops, is to get people off the streets into housing, have them get well again and safe again. So yeah, sorry that's short.
Hi, my name's Tracy. We've been at the rest stop 4 years. We live in a hut. And what I wanted to point out was that we're the nomadic rest stop. We move around, don't have a permanent site, but most times when we've needed city council's approval, we had to have the neighborhood association approval. So the Harlow neighborhoods and the southeast neighborhoods were both gung-ho to say, yes, they're just human beings. It's okay if they live there. And the biggest comment we got is, we don't even know you're there. We bring business to the neighborhood, and we also increase safety because we live outside. So it takes community involvement for a rest stop to thrive, and I hope there's one coming to a neighborhood by you soon.
Hi, I'm Kathy Walker, and I tried to start my own little nonprofit thing, which was summarily shut down even with the cooperation of the city. Another portion of the city basically destroyed the whole thing. So, looking back on 3 years of study, I'm trying to find out where to fill the gap, and I think I found a place, and I believe we're actually going to go ahead and call it Happy Camper Sanctuary Camp. That is what I'd like to begin, because that is where the gaps are. We're housing hundreds. We have over 12,000 people accessed homeless services in this county last year. Everything these people are doing up here is wonderful, but it's a drop in the bucket. We need your help, and the city doesn't want to help, so we've got to go private. Yes. Last fall, after a couple years of helping my friends who I've discovered were homeless and out there, and helping them through winter after winter, it became apparent to me that there was one common denominator between the people that don't want them there and the people that are having to live out in the public areas. That was, neither one of them wanted to see all the garbage that was being built up, but dumpsters were locked. There was no place to throw it away. There was no way to, a lot of times it was just a matter of not being able to carry the bags from their camps to a garbage thing. So I started a volunteer garbage route through Alton Baker Park, staffed with myself and one other house person, and the rest of our employees or workers were all from that area. They had been out there camping and are chronically homeless. Unfortunately, the city police chose to continually harass these people to where they had to not only move out of the places they were trying to keep clean because they wanted to live in something clean, but also took away the whole project. That, I had been working with open spaces and parks for months. It was a legitimate project, and yeah, you can't ask people to come clean an area that they're not allowed to be in.
My name is Sue Sierra Lupe, and I am the clinic manager for Occupy Medical. Occupy Medical started in October of 2011. We are a weekly free clinic. We are also integrated health, so we have doctors and nurses. Herbalists will be bringing on, currently training a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. We have counselors there. Every Sunday, it's just a 4-hour clinic. We serve food as well in conjunction with Food for Lane County. We feed between 200 to 300 people every week. We also provide approximately 40 patients with free care. 60% of those are unhoused, and we are coming up on our 9,000th patient visit.
I'm Jennifer Denson. I'm board president of Burrito Brigade. We're a grassroots organization that started in February of 2014, seeing the need that weekends have very little food options. It started with just a simple burrito and 200 burritos every Sunday, and now we're at Saturday and Sunday making 750 to 800 burritos. Most of the ingredients during the summer are donated locally. It's beans, rice, vegetables on Sunday, and then a tempeh barbecue burrito on Saturdays. and it's just a simple organization that people shouldn't be going hungry.
Hello, good afternoon. My name's Rod Adams. I am not a social justice warrior. I am not. However, I will claim the title as warrior. I know many of these people here, and they do need your help. There's no question about that whatsoever, but I am here for a different purpose. Requires a little more attention. I have a pamphlet to pass out to anyone who would like one. Yes, looks like this, and it's 38 pages of mean stuff, and this may not be the venue for you to be engaged in that, but I'm going to pass it out. You can leave it in your bathroom, and when you have time, perhaps you'll glance it over. Thank you.
Do other people have handouts or papers as well? Okay. Okay, so there'll be information from all of us except my organization because I did not bring anything. But it's in the cloud. Lost my phone in the parking lot. It's all gone. But you can look up what we do at carryitforward.net. Not pay it forward, mind you, but carry it forward, because we are actually carrying things forward. Okay, so with those introductions, do we have any initial questions that people thought of to start some discussion going? Anybody? Anybody want to launch us? If not, I can start some more questions, but I'd like to start. If you guys, yeah, go.
I live in Portland.
Yeah.
I live in Portland, and that's my mom on stage there, Tracy. And I was wondering if anything like what they're doing is on the table for the Portland area, because they're a good example of everything that I hear my white-collar sort of peers complaining about in the Portland homeless camps. That's my question. Rest stops in Portland.
Yeah, I'll let you speak to that. I'll just speak for the medical. There's a new free clinic opening. I believe it is now in July. Should be open and functional in August. There have been a variety of different free clinics that have specialized in unhoused care. One of them was under the bridge, and I believe it just recently closed. Funding has always been a struggle, and there are herbalists that I have trained to work with these clinics. A couple of years ago, having herbals in conjunction with standard medical practice is really important for people that are unhoused, because people will get set up as a mark for being robbed if they have something like even amoxicillin, which is antibiotic. But for herbs, if you just have an Oregon grape tincture, that most people don't even know what that's for. So we've got trained herbalists that are working with people for options and supplements to help them. We are seeing scurvy, we are seeing some of those pirate diseases on the streets, and being able to have those donated herbal supplements and nutritional supplements is really important. And that's one of the reasons why I really like having herbalists and nutritionists and dietitians work in conjunction with doctors, and people are hungry for that. So I think that because there's a need, and because it fills a need that doctors can't offer help for, then I think we're going to see that more in the future. So look for other clinics such as that.
And on behalf of Burrito Brigade, they're functioning once a month because of the, obviously Portland's a bigger city, so the difficulty of distribution and getting a kitchen and location and getting volunteers. It's currently operating once a month.
Shout out to R2D2, Right to Dream 2, TOO. Human beings, all animals need sleep, and I haven't kept up because so many changes happened, but they were downtown in Chinatown, and you get to sleep there every night for 12 hours, and you have to be picked every night. So it's very successful. It's very hard to be homeless in Portland. And there's something called WRAP, Western Regional Advocacy Program, and that's going on in Portland too. But tons of shelters and not tons. Okay, 10 places to seek shelter and 10 places for food. So it's like, yeah, living the dream, but there's people with caring hearts up at Portland that help fill the gaps, and there can always be more. And as far as Occupy Medical having herbs, what a wonderful thing. You can go get nutritional building herbs every Sunday if you want to take care of yourself.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Hello, my name's Benjamin. So I'm a member of RAP and member of Right to Drink 2 and Right to Survive, and I work at Sisters of the Road. So last week or two or 3 weeks ago, Oregon Live released studies on the police and how they, half of all arrests in all of Portland were the homeless community, which makes up 6% of the population. So very big overrepresentation. And so part of the work I do is addressing the criminalization, ongoing criminalization that is presented by the business improvement districts and business alliances and associations. So I'm curious to know what it's like in Eugene. How do the police interact, and what are the loose findings, or like as far as like how targeted they are by the police?
Thank you so much for asking that.
It's a loud, serious issue.
You could go down the line. We probably all have something to say. Go. Yeah. You want to start?
Oh,
Go for it.
people are harassed nightly in Eugene and ticketed in the mornings, many of them every hour, just for having a problem of wanting to sleep, you know? And that is totally criminalization. It happens every day in our community, and the cops have still not been held accountable for the wrongful treatment of homeless people. It's really sad, and it's really sad, period. How much the cops deny what they're up to. So we need to have a tracking system to track all the tickets and why they're ticketed and what kind of people they are. And the same thing, 6%, that's sad, that sucks, you know?
So Eugene is unique in that we have the University of Oregon here, which has turned out to be quite a draw for our higher end white collar people. Unfortunately, they don't like the sight of homeless people here. And as a result, the laws that are made are geared to make them disappear, make us disappear at any means except the right ones. I have been right in the middle of a lot of these interactions between the police and the homeless citizens of this town, and they don't have any rights anymore. They sit down, even after packing up their camper, packing up their cart, and just sitting down to take a break, they're going to get another ticket for illegal camping or trespass 2 just for sitting down. I've seen it happen time and again. I'm trying to be that person in the middle. I have documentation, I have video, I have audio. Problem is, there's nobody cares. Nobody cares. These people are getting their human rights and their civil rights violated. And until we get enough people to stand up and say, hey, this isn't right, the criminalization will continue and people will continue to die out there. We're losing between 25 and 30 people a year in Eugene alone that have just been waiting for some kind of help to survive.
So I got a quick question. With those criminal trespass and illegal camping tickets that you're talking about, can you tell everyone how that impacts the homeless community from getting like housing or jobs? Can you tell them how those...
Or medical care.
Exactly, how the criminal tickets affect them.
So what I have noticed in the last almost 7 years working with the unhoused is being housed already takes people's lives body part by body part. And I am talking literally. People are literally losing toes, then feet, then legs, and then of course they pass, and they're passing miserably. And what I am noticing is if I go to the park and I put my blanket down and I have my grandchild there, I will not get a citation because of the way that I look. I'm housed, and I look very housed. If one of my patients does the exact same thing, even if they're sitting with their grandchild, they will be ushered out, and they will be ushered out aggressively. If you go to the park blocks today, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you're going to see extremely aggressive, extreme strong arming of getting anyone that looks like they're unhoused out of that public space. Our people deserve to rest. Our people deserve to sleep. Our people, and I'm talking about the people that live in this country, they deserve to have a place to go to the bathroom. They deserve to have a place to put their trash. I don't know why people like to hoard trash cans in this community. It's a public health risk. Hepatitis, does people not understand how hepatitis works? You are killing the very people that I serve by allowing rules and ordinances that stand in the way of people getting basic human rights services. I am watching what happens to people's bodies. I'm watching what's happening to their mental health. It is a sad day when last Sunday I sat with somebody who's just trying to pull themselves back from the edge. They have a lot of hard mental health conditions that they've really been struggling with, and they told me they would rather be crazy again. Because when they were crazy, they didn't understand the kind of torture that was being thrown on them just for being elderly and unhoused. That's not the world I want to live in. I won't stand for it.
And just in case you thought that it's only in the public spaces that you go to normally, down at the mall or, maybe over to a school park or something, these officers are going down into the trees, into the wilderness areas and chasing these people out. Even if they carry a clean camp, even if they're non-offenders of any kind, it doesn't matter. They're trying to eradicate people.
So this last year, me and Tracy helped do the point in time count, where one day a year we go out as a group. We go out in different areas of Eugene and Lane County and help count the homeless. One day out of the year, and this one day we got Glenwood. Chris McAllister, Chris helped us with it anyway, and Kathy. And a matter of fact, it was just sad to see how many people got rousted the day before or that morning even to move along. So they weren't in the places that we sent out soldiers, people to go find these camps, so on that one day they could be counted. So the cops come in 24 hours before and roust them up and make them move along, so when we go to count them, we can't find them. So then they come up with this number 1,400 homeless in Lane County or Eugene, and it's a lie. Personally, it's a lie. And the cops helped it be that low. The count of homeless people in Eugene and Lane County is much higher than anybody would probably expect, because a lot of them hide out and don't want to be counted, and then the ones that wanted to be counted were moved along and harassed. It just really pissed me off to see that.
What was the question again?
About criminalization.
Oh, criminalization. It's a well-known fact. Criminalization is well documented. It's people won't look at it. Towards the back of this pamphlet, these are the things that we're all subjected to, but it depends on how many dollars in our pocket and how bitter and cruel these negations of our constitutional freedoms. Now, because most of us don't know what those are, just a quick rundown. Freedom of speech. Some people live out there because they want to. Most of us don't want to, but some do, and that's their freedom of speech. They should be left alone. Freedom of movement. Well, that's kind of a weird thing because that's what we're condemned to all the time. You must move. You must move. You cannot afford to be here. This is a public space. Oh, no, it ain't. Not in reality. We all know it. Cruel and unusual punishment. Now, Sue just got done telling you, and I have seen this over and over and over again, and also have it documented, audio, video, posted up on Facebook. Some people look at that, but nothing ever gets done. The right to freedom of movement, privacy and property rights. We have no privacy out there at all. We have no property rights. If we're not looking, anyone can and will steal whatever is there. The cops will take it. The city workers will take it. Middle-class Americans will take it. And maybe just because they don't want to see it there, and they'll take it around the corner and throw it in the trash. It happens. Here's a very important one that many people never really consider, and that is the right to assemble. Now, what they've done because of our poverty is forced us into associations with people that we don't want to be with. Now, when I'm talking to authoritarian figures, I use the term drunks, drug addicts, and psychotics. Why do I have to be forced to spend my time around those people? Because I have been labeled as, whatever the label is, critically homeless or whatever. So, oh, that's it. Chronically homeless, so therefore there is a problem with me. I have a mental deficiency, I have whatever, I'm an addict, I'm a drug addict. If you do not have enough money to afford to put a roof over your head, you are a criminal. And all these people here will testify to that. No, I'm rambling. Thank you.
So it looks like, Chris, you have a question, comment?
Hello, my name's Chris. While I respect everybody, I madly respect everybody on that stage and would gladly walk down the path with you guys. While we've talked a lot about the dangers and the repressions, what would you say some of the challenges and some of the successes of actually working with other groups that are grassroots? Because the government's doing its thing, but you guys are doing things and making things grow. What would be some ideas you would share with us about what you've done that's been successful?
I guess for Burrito Brigade, it feels really successful that we can offer 75 burritos to Occupy Medical every Sunday, so they have the option of having a warm burrito if food isn't ready or if they've run out of food. We've also worked with Occupy Medical when the dining room is closed, and then we've done a mid-burrito brigade, a midweek. But by having each other's backs, we can bounce ideas off each other and then like look out for each other when the dining room's closed for cleaning, maintenance, whatever they call that, for 2.5 weeks. That sort.
Occupy Medical survives because we work with other alliances. Food for Lane County, that's how we get all of the food, or a majority of the food donated. We have churches that have been fabulous allies for us. They brought in food, they brought in supplies. The UU Church has been a long time assistant for us. They have a bin there where people can put supplies for us. Whitebird has been a provider of many services for us and the people that we serve. We have Lane County Public Health and Lane County Behavioral Health, and I'm happy to say that many of the places that also have wonderful medical staff have provided us with these great volunteers that they're doing what they do for a living for free. And I see one, I'm going to call out Anand over there, one of our nurses in the blue Occupy Medical shirt. And that's how we've been able to offer vaccines. There are just so many people that have integrated with us. And I know that in the past there was this idea that you might be alluding to, Chris, that the service organizations need to be in competition with each other. And I would posit that we will not be running out of hungry people, we will not be running out of poor people, and we will not be running out of the sick. So there's plenty for us to share. And the whole point is that we make our society bigger and healthier. So I'm grateful to all those and those that I have not mentioned. There are plenty that people that, like the DNC, that have just, or the DSA. There's some letters in there that have just said, today we're going to give you a whole bunch of volunteers. So whatever, Planned Parenthood, you name it, people have come in and they've helped us. And we can't do it without them. We just can't.
Since I started out all on my own to when I first learned of the problem, I uniquely appreciate the fact that these people, Arwen in particular, have stepped up to help me out, help me get the people that I deal with things they need when I ran out. I'm not rich by any means, but it seems like a lot of poor people can band together and do a lot. It'd be nice to have a rich person or two, foot in the bill somewhat, but until that happens, we're our best support. The government's wheels do turn slowly, and certain government entities don't want to turn at all. But on the plus side, we do have other government entities that are trying. And I became part of a subcommittee for the county, on the county board of poverty, league. It's a subcommittee of the Poverty and Homelessness Board. They're doing some really good things. Again, they're slow, but they're government, so but they're trying. They're trying. In the meantime, we don't have time to wait for public funds to come in. Every month that we wait, we're going to lose more people next winter. I'm tired of losing my friends. I'm sure these people up here, I haven't been involved as long as they have. I've lost almost 10 people in the 3 years I've been involved. All died waiting for shelter. These people have lost more. We need your help, guys, in every bit of this. We need your help. Anything you can do.
I quit counting at 80 friends I lost since 2003, and that was about 2010.
What was the question?
It's about successes in terms of collaborating.
Well, I guess we're nonprofits, so we run off a lot of donations. So I could say that a lot of people help us, because we wouldn't be able to run the whole camp that we run at 12 Conestoga huts. Recently we had 13 people in camp. In the last 2 weeks or so, 4 people have got housed out and in housing from our camp. And that's what our camp's all about, is housing people up. So everybody in camp puts in like $5-10 for cleaning supplies around camp and stuff, wipes and soaps and stuff like that, extra toilet paper. And we work with a lot of groups, like Occupy Medical just recently gave us one of their tents that they just gave it to us. We put a shout out for extra tents around our place, and so we got I think it's a 12 or something by 20 foot covered area. So Burrito Brigade drops off burritos on Sunday. We get about 15 from them on Sundays. So we work with a lot of people in our community. So I would like to say I'm very thankful.
And I'm very thankful because I sleep better, because since Occupy Eugene in 2011, people have stepped up, and I sleep better knowing Occupy Medical's there, that Kathy's in the park, that Chris is kicking it up, that Mel is giving love to all the street kids, that Rod's pointing out obvious unlawful things, and Burrito Brigade, and there's an amazing community, and all cooperation and donations are needed. And I guess as a society we're going to start giving more, because homelessness is not going away, and people that have nothing need help from people who have something.
No worries. I would like to add, with the collaboration, you meet good people doing good work, and that's what feels so amazing about this. Having these visions, you have Carry It Forward donates to Sheriff Fair, Burrito Brigade, Sue's been there, Ward 9. So all these people on the stage has helped this vision come true from a relatively new grassroots operation, and relatively successful and super fun. So it's extremely important to be able to collaborate and meet these souls that care about each other.
I agree. So it's a little bit of an unfair question for Carry It Forward because I brought all these people, because I work with all these people. So, but Carry It Forward as an organization, actually, I volunteer for Occupy Medical for about the last 5 years, and one of the things I saw was we were constantly asking for stuff from the community. Socks. We always need socks. We always need clothes. And so I thought, why not be a hub for the collection of those things? And it actually happened rather organically, again, because we had a cold snap. I thought, I'm so offended that people are going to be out in the cold. We have a warming shelter system locally that it was supposed to activate but didn't because they didn't have enough volunteers, and I was just offended that my friends were going to be out in the freezing cold, and it was ice raining. And so I just put out on Facebook, like, hey, everybody, I'm going to be taking donations out to the community, give me what you got. And our living room became just full of stuff. And this was the birth of Carry It Forward. I didn't know that at the time, but we ended up, it took 2 carloads for 2 nights to get rid of everything that was in my living room. And we just went out. We just went under bridges. We went out into the parks. We went to the unsanctioned camps and sanctioned camps. We just went everywhere and just gave all the stuff out. Like, hey folks, this is it. And what happened was that the donations didn't stop coming in. Once we had said that we did this, and I just put a thank you out to everybody, we ended up just getting a constant stream. And so for the last 2 years, almost coming up on 3 this fall, it has been a steady stream of donations in and out of the back of my car every week, just pretty much constant. It's become a bit of a lifestyle. We eventually were like, well, maybe we should make this a thing, and made it a nonprofit and stuff. That allowed me to get then the grants and try to expand the program a little bit. But I collaborate with all these folks. Carry It Forward provides donations for Share Fair. I collaborate with you in a whole bunch of ways, and I've very much appreciated. So we provide laundry services to their camp, but we also, like when I am at Occupy Medical and I have a patient in front of me who, I am searching for an urgent kind of like, can you help me with this person? This person has got broken ribs and needs to be off the street for like 3 days. These lovely people will hide them in a corner somewhere, not supposed to, according to the camp rules, but they will do it for me because we have a built relationship and trust. I've also taken some folks that maybe weren't the best reference, but they still like me even though those people didn't work out, which I appreciate.
After, I was going to make a quick announcement. Okay. Just whenever you're done.
Just going down the line, because we also collaborate. Kathy will get in touch with me and say, I've got somebody who needs pants, and comes over and gets them. Obviously, Occupy Medical, I'm working with constantly. Also, Jennifer and I collaborate on donations. Burrito Brigade gets donations that are not related to burritos. And so she'll call me up and say, could you use this? Could you use that? And we go pick it up. It's all grassroots. It's all family. Rod and I collaborate on a number of things. I have very much appreciated Rod's perspective and wisdom about the larger social, societal impact stuff. It's huge. We often, I think in the traditional dominant culture in America, we think of these things as individual problems, as Rod has said. But there are links to very big social issues, which we've touched on a little bit with the criminalization piece. There are city ordinances in all of our municipalities that criminalize people for doing the basic things that they need to be able to do, like sleep, go to the bathroom, have some hygiene, and eat. These are things like, and medical care being a whole nother piece. They're basic human needs. We all got to do them. If we don't live as humans. And yet our municipalities, wherever you're from, I guarantee you, if you look close, criminalize these things in a very basic way that punishes folks. So I'll stop rambling, but I've also gone to court with Rod and witnessed firsthand sitting in the rooms with the lawyers, sitting in the rooms with the judges, and how the system is rigged. It is rigged. I can't, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. The whole discourse around the conversation around homelessness in a trespassing case with a homeless man, we are not allowed to talk about homelessness. So that is the context within which the crime happened, yet we are not allowed to talk about the context. So it's like these are the systemic problems that are significant. Now, of course, not all of us have influence or ability to address those things, but it's really important for all of us to be aware of how these things are connected. Thank you for letting me say all that. You wanted to?
I just want a quick thing. It reminded me of partnering together. I got an email yesterday from Boom Buzz, which is a sock company that if you buy a sock, they give a sock to a charity. They announced that they're giving Burrito Braid 2,000 pairs of socks that I will share with Carry It Forward, Occupy Medical, and Share Fair.
All right, so were there questions? I'm sorry,
my name's Adrian. I'm currently homeless. I actually live at the rest stop that Nate and Tracy run. My question is, what has to happen to get more of these rest stops out there? Because I can speak from personal experience, it's an absolute godsend.
With kids.
With kids, is that what you said?
And with kids too. But
yes.
Basically, our city government is not going to make it easy on us. As you saw with the Santa Clara NIMBYs, we're going to have to go outside the box. We need to quit depending on the public servants to okay these things. We need to go private. But in order to do so, we need that piece of property. We need to make sure we got all the rules down so they can't come and bug us. You know, we need to police ourselves, which a lot of our homeless people are very capable of and are very willing to. And we need a chance. But what we really need is backing for a good plan. You know, I've got a plan. I'm taking all this into account, but like I said, I'm new at this. I would have no clue how to go forward without these people's help and without more help from out there.
Thanks for asking, Adrian. We need a rest stop with more participation for people that are dealing with addictions, because you can't deal with your addiction when you're struggling to survive every day. We need a rest stop for kids, families with kids. We need rest stops for youth, although they are good in a home. Adults are a little more tough than kids. Kids have needs. Adults just need to sleep and go to the bathroom and eat and have camaraderie. We need rest stops for senior citizens, of which more of the population is, where they can hang out, have a few more amenities, not have to leave from 9 to 5. Different levels of rest stop will need more care. Maybe one day Occupy Medical will have a rest stop of people that are unable to take care of themselves.
Can I?
Okay, not Occupy Medical.
Can I interject? Yes. I'm sorry. All right. Are you okay with me doing that?
We need more rest stops.
I want to segue actually, because Rod has a really great project that he was being shy about in the beginning. But one of the things that he's working on, and I'll intro it, is the idea of a hospice camp for folks who are nearing end of life. It's definitely a need that we see at Occupy Medical, and definitely something that is not being addressed as a need. And what I was hoping, Rod, that you would talk about is what kind of support does that kind of camp need from the community, kind of from all levels?
Before we go, one thing you can do is join your city council. One thing, there's public comment, do that. Also, neighborhood associations always have a space on the association, so join that. Be a voice of reason that understands what the neighborhood actually looks like, as opposed to what that neighborhood should look like. Capitalism is not a good neighbor. So I putting a price on human life, I don't think anybody feels really good about that. I think we just need to value it because it's important. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Arwen. That was my purpose here, was to talk about this camp. If you happen to go through this literature, however, you may begin to understand that what needs to happen is impossible, because our government will never address this. Just prior to us taking the stage, Indians were up here as an ethnic group, speaking about how many years now of what they've gone through. Now, they naturally, and rightfully so, blame the imperialistic colonizers. But I'm not one of them. Doesn't matter what color my skin is, I was born a poor white boy. So, regardless, the point I'm trying to make here is that everybody up here, not everybody, but many of us up here have to rely on the government for certain aspects of continuance to continue their efforts, which they're shortchanged and belittled at every step from the very people they're trying to get something from. That is the city councilors and on up the food chain.
Right.
Now, if we can make a distinction, I might ask the audience a question. Yeah. Quick, look under there. Do you see any homeless people? Or quick, look under there. Do you see any weapons of mass destruction? These are the kind of people that we're dealing with. And what needs to happen is these people are dying out here under bushes. And nothing is going to change that. Nothing at all. Except where somebody's going to have to break the law. Somebody's going to have to take over and occupy a piece of ground and say, we will not be moved. We will not be moved. Yeah. And then us out here that have already decided we're the warriors, we will go to jail. We will find other warriors in there. But when we get out, we have to have a place to stand. Now, if we can't make a camp for the people out here dying under bushes, well, read over that pamphlet I put out. It's all there. And it's only the tip of the iceberg. The problem is trying to cut it down even into a readable management. That pamphlet holds the moral, ethical, and legal discourse and converse that is required so that people with credentials, PhDs and bachelors of art, so that when you bring these arguments to them, they can't act like they don't understand. Then you got them. You shame them. So, at any rate, yes, we need a camp, but the camp cannot exist until we find the people that, even if they need plausible deniability, will support the warriors that are going to stay in there and go to jail for a good reason. Thank you.
All right, I think we are about at time. I want to thank everybody for coming. We were hoping that the result of this was to give you a good overview of a wide range of types of activities that you can do to impact homelessness from a grassroots level. Every single one of you can do something, even if it's handing socks out the window when you're on the corner. I also think that we all have... What?
It's against the law in Springfield.
Just not in Springfield or you get fined, but you can still do it. I mean,
it's against the law.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right, thank you so much. That was hard work to do. I think all of these problems are going to take a lot of innovative thinking. I know I recently read there's a school in San Francisco that has a lot of homeless children coming, and it's like a K-8 school, so the middle school part has showers. And so the principal went to the school board and said, yes, I'm thinking outside of the box, but I have all these showers. We have all these people who need a place to stay in the evening and on the weekends. And so they're having those conversations. They're having those difficult conversations, and it's going to take people thinking outside of the box. They're also doing something where it is more on the front end of this, is raising children with empathy. Raising children with empathy. Getting children at a young age in the schools to go out and yes, maybe they're getting their service hours so they can go wherever it is they want to go for middle school or high school, but they're doing service hours. They're working in communities, and they're seeing that not everybody has food on their table, not everybody has a roof over their head. I know I'm a public school teacher, and I have students like that. So it's going to take all of us to think outside of the box and to have these warriors helping as well. So thank you. Coming up